What's up, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. I meant to start it when I got in the car, but I just started it like a minute later. I didn't realize I didn't do it, but here we are. It's Friday, end of the work week. I mean, I only work 2 days, but it's alright. I mean, it is what it is. So, take it as we go. I got most of my homework done. Happy about that. And yeah, I like to ideally have it like that, where I can have the weekend free, because then, you know, by the time it's Sunday, because the weekend starts and it's Sunday, and then I forget that I had one thing due, and the last thing I wanted to do was miss an assignment because I just completely forgot about it. When, you know, it would take me only like 20 minutes to get it done. And then, so yeah. But we got work tomorrow on Saturdays, up like always, Target. Not too bad. Yeah, pretty normal day today. Like most days, really. I mean, at the end of the week, it's always the same. Like, you forget about what you did during the week. You forget about what you did during the year. I mean, I can't recall exactly the hard days I'm on the job, but I know I had hard days, so what stays to you is the money you make and what you do with that money. Like I said, what really sticks with you is the money you make and what you do with it. And if you know, if you're lucky enough, you can use that money to invest in stuff, save it, you know, pay off debt. If you're really focused and lucky with your work, I guess. And, or I guess if you're in a job where you can put in hours, you know, stay really focused, you can pay your debt off and be pretty much good. So that's what sticks with you, you know. When you survive, it's purely just that. It's just surviving. You're not spending money to put forward beyond what situation you're in. You know, you're just surviving. And, you know, we've all been there. So we all know how it's like. Some of us are there. Some of us will be there. Some of us will come back to that, you know. So, man, I'm gonna start yawning again a whole bunch. I do not like yawning over the videos. But I don't like to drink energy drink right away, because I drink one when I get home. And then, you know, I like to keep it at 2. If I had to go by milligrams, I'll probably take it by 150 max a day. 200 really, if I'm really pushing it, but I don't really try to push it because I don't feel like the need to do it. Usually, those are the parameters I have for caffeine in a day, but I also don't like to drink caffeine past like a certain time, because then I feel like it disrupts my sleep a lot. I feel like I wake up a lot during the night. So, yeah. That's how I take it by. Well, overall, life's good. I mean, I'm happy. I'm cooked. That's what I am. I'm happy to be where I'm at. I'm happy where I'm going with life. I feel content, you know. Like, I feel like I'm finally. And I know I talk about this in like every video, I think, every other video at least, but it's like I'm finally in a position where I can choose what I want to do in my life in terms of free time. You know, YouTube, drawing, I'm in school as well. I think I hit all the check marks, so I'm not like, you know, what else can I do, and it's not about what else I can do, it's just about, am I doing the most, am I being the most efficient with my time? I always think about, in 5 years, where would I be in terms of, you know, change, evolution of myself? Will I be the same? Will the habits that I do in my day-to-day basis change me to the person that I want to be in 5 years? Who do I want to be in 5 years, right? That's the question I always ask myself as well. Who who is the person. I don't want to necessarily change as a person. Well, I guess if you don't know what your faults are, you don't know how to change, right? If you never push yourself against other forces, you know, and put yourself in a situation that you're not comfortable with necessarily, you never know what your faults are. But for me, it's more so having that money, having a more prospect future in terms of career, in terms of skills that I made, some skills that I want to have, software development, right, or starting my YouTube channel. The biggest one for me is just being able to be more in control of my life. Raising my kid right, but in a span of 5 years, you know, he's not gonna be that much grown. It's much more like a lifetime thing. But in 5 years, I want to be somewhere different. I want to break out of where I'm at right now in terms of work. I want to go somewhere else. I know I can do it. It's just I gotta focus on it, and I gotta manifest it really, because right now it doesn't seem like. I mean, it's not possible. It just feels so far away that it's kind of like if someone told you like, oh, you're gonna have to work really hard in your life one day. It's like, well, you know, you can tell me that could be in 10 years, that could tell me in 10 days, 10 weeks, but you never know exactly when it's gonna be. That's kind of how it feels for me right now about my career, or where I want to be. It's kind of like, well, it's in the horizon. Not necessarily on the horizon, I should say. More like it's farther away. But I know it's coming because I'm working on it. But I just can't see it just yet. Or, you know, maybe it's my perspective that's not shifted correctly into what would make me see the vision better, I should say. So. But regardless of that, it does not deter me in my future, and my endeavors and my focus is not hinged upon my vision, because I know it's there. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, and I can make it. So, yeah. It also comes down to, I think it really comes down to my my awareness of time when I'm home. Because there's times where I'll be mindlessly scrolling. I'm like, you know what, this isn't it right now. Like, this isn't really worth it. There's certain times, not that every single time has to be like an end goal to it, or like it has to be purposeful, and it has to matter as equally as making money or something, right? Like, you know, spending time with my kid, that's, you know, what's the word? That's there's no cost to that. You know, you can't put a price tag on that, because that time, because I think about when I'm gone without him, I think about, you know, being with him, or, you know, seeing him. So it's like that time when I'm with him, it's, you know, it's timeless, I guess. So, and, you know, in that aspect, I don't think about like, oh, I should be studying more. But when I'm on my phone, I'm like, yeah, I probably should be doing something more different, because I don't feel like this is where I'm supposed to be. It's, you know, I think I can best correlate it with, you know, if you're somewhere and you immediately don't feel like you belong there. Like, it's not necessarily because you feel discriminated. It's not that you're being discriminated. It's just you're like, nah, like I can hit higher. Like, I gotta hit a higher ceiling. So that's kind of like the vibe, you know. It's like if you train, I don't even know what a good example would be, but like if you train as an Olympic level of physicality, and then you're like going against little kids, it's like, you know, it's like I can do better. That's kind of how I feel. I'm like, or hanging around like maybe old friends that are hoodlums, or, you know, maybe friends that are just they're not looking forward, so you already know that they're not, you know, you're in a different mindset. That's kind of the vibe when I'm like doing something that I'm like, you know what, I've been doing this for over an hour. It's not worth it, you know. It's like, it's not worth my time doing this. But I mean, that's a life. Like, that's my guide in life. You know, there's people that make lots of money and they spend their time on their phone because that's what they like. Like, there's no set values on certain things. There is set values on what you prioritize and what, you know, you make time for. right? So like if you like just like if you everybody has their own money, but if you always spend it on gambling, then you have an addiction. You have something going on with you that's deterring you, because that's not a healthy lifestyle. A healthy lifestyle is one that wouldn't necessarily cripple you financially, emotionally, right? Like it's always a net negative with gambling. That's an example. So in terms of what I'm doing, it's like, well, is a net positive for myself in my parameters. Now, of course, we can discuss the whole idea of, their own perspective is that they're winning, but it's like, no, because that's its own problems. But what I'm trying to say, my point being is, like, I'm on my phone, but I don't feel productive. Like, I should be using my time more efficiently, because I don't have that much time as I used to. I could, before having my kid, before working 2 jobs, it's like I had a whole Saturday to do whatever I wanted. And there'd be points where it's like, okay, I already did so much that I'm bored, that I just want to sit down and relax, I guess, right? So it's not necessarily because everything has to be 100%. It's just that the time I have isn't as much as I used to have, so I use that time to make the most out of it. So that's basically my idea. I have to moderate it, like all things are, because obviously if I'm always thinking of like, okay, I should be doing this, I should be more efficient, it's like it's gonna be never ending, and I'm gonna drive myself to a toxic level of productivity where I'm burning myself out, for no reason. It's like I gotta enjoy the grind, because if I don't enjoy it, then I want to enjoy it when I actually do it for a living, like software development, or if I draw or whatever, or reading, right? I like reading too, but I listen to audiobooks, but it's all the same, I guess. So yeah, that was a big old rant about that. Oh, dude, I'm so fried. I literally was looking for my phone. I'm like, where's my phone? It's right there. Jeez, I'm cooked, dude. Yeah, I mean, it sucks that I didn't work this week for 3 days, but I didn't have it the worst. People died because of the storms. They actually died. That's insane. I couldn't imagine that storms heavy enough would kill people. Not necessarily by the act of the storm itself, but what it could bring down, like the trees. And I'm not getting into specifics because that's not necessary for this part of the video. Or I don't want to make that. I don't want to weigh it down with that kind of knowledge, information, but it's sad, But just because, but I should also say, just because, someone may have in terms of a death, yes, that's pretty bad. But let's get rid of the outliers like that, I guess. In a bad experience, just because someone has a bad experience or a worse thing going on doesn't necessarily mean that your problems don't matter. So yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how to best phrase that, but just because I'm having a bad day doesn't mean that, or just because my car broke down doesn't mean that you can't cry because someone lied to you, right? I'm not sure the value of things there, but basically saying, your feelings matter. That's all I'm saying. So I'm just adding on to that, so it's I'm not making it aware that it's not just about certain things. Not certain things, but your feelings are validated and shouldn't be based upon the worst or the best experiences in life. Right? I think that's a better way of saying it. So yeah. I'm really thinking about getting the meta glasses, but I'm gonna wait on that until I'm really sure I want to get into that kind of realm of videos where I'm filming myself on my glasses and then I put it into. But I don't have else much to say about today, so you guys next time. Thank you for watching.